Hello and welcome to Filipinos in Live. It's Wealth Wednesday. My name is Ruben, Austria, along with my co-hosts.
My name's Antonette Carabuena.
And my name is Catapang.
Let's
Hello.
let's make it happen.
Filipino. Hoy pare, pakinggan niyo ako. Ito nang tunay na Filipino.
Woo! Another Wednesday.
Yes.
What's going on, Antonette and Art? Double A, double trouble.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that until you said it. AA.
I know, right? Oh my God. Me and Art and Ruben. It's going to be a great show today. Right, Art and Ruben?
Yeah, we also got the right AC. AC, two ACs. Air conditioning.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We are live here to really help Filipino Americans all over the country connect, collaborate, and create content and events and things that will help their local business. We are at your disposal, and we are also live. So if you have any comments, we will bring those up. Any questions? We're going to be featuring some amazing guests that's going to help you learn about what's going on in Massachusetts, and also really just allow us to provide representation, right, Antoinette? Like we had mentioned earlier, just letting you guys, letting you all know that whatever you want to be, you can be, because I'm sure we'll find somebody who's done it. They don't have to be the Filipino; they just have to be friends of the community, and we're gonna make it happen. So, of course, this wouldn't happen without the three people here. Apparently, the three companies that are part of who we are and what we do. So, this community, this Filipinos in community, is only made possible by people like Antoinette and Art. So, I'm gonna give them their ability to share who they are and what they do in a second. But before we do that, the whole idea of what we're doing and why we're doing it is really just called live community networking. It's also called AKA humanity, and I'll make sure to update the slide. But the way this works is that local business is changing dramatically, or business as a whole is changing dramatically. Over the course of ever since I've been in business since 2005, there's just been three organizations that really helped me become the person I've become, and do the things that I really want to do: serve the community, network with others, and speak in public. These things have really helped me a ton. Antoinette, I know it's only been a short period of time since you've been participating in Filipinos in and live community networking, but what sticks out to you as you've seen as far as results so far, like the networking piece, serving the community, or just really just the ability to get in front of video?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, it's an all-around platform, and I'm just so happy that I'm here and I'm able to meet a lot of wonderful individuals, and also business, people and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, perfect. How about you, Art?
I think I'm going to change it up a little because I love everything you guys are saying. But one of the things that stands out, other than these other brands that are involved with networking, is actually business owners that are networking and supporting each other. And I think I want to kind of highlight that, because when I started off my business, I wished I had this platform, because even though I came from corporate, I had a lot of experience in corporate. It's not the same being an entrepreneur out there by yourself. You really need, and that's what we're hoping. We need that foundation of support, whether it's Ruben, you and your background, Antoinette. Everybody's got a story to be told, but I think where we come in is, don't go in it alone. We're the established support that's never existed in the Filipino community, especially for business owners, because business owners need to support other business, especially entrepreneurs. So that's my message of the day.
Absolutely. And if you've been part of Filipinos, so Filipinos in Massachusetts is just one of our first communities that we're going to be building out other communities. But if you've seen my post, I think it was a week and a half back, this is exactly what I was trying to do. It came as a result of seeing my dad as an entrepreneur in Quincy, North Quincy, just trying to make it, but really no resources. Of course, there was networking traditional networking as we know it, but it's hard. There's only so much time to do that, right? With our platform, it's really just a weekly event that allows us all to connect together virtually, with the hope of potentially, getting together in person. So this is not just about throwing more digital content on the wall. It's really just about, creating a reason to get together so we can serve the community. So it's really easy. It's really just creating a template and filling in the gaps, right? There's a host, there's a co-host, guests, producers, and really we're going to demonstrate it now, so you don't really have to understand it, but we're going to make it happen for you guys. So it's really great. As I mentioned earlier, this is for the community, by the community. So I want to give everyone here who's making it happen the opportunity to promote who they are and what they do. So Antonette, you get to do that first. Please.
Yay! Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Antonette Carabuena. I am the owner of Curantis Private Nursing Services, a luxury concierge nursing service offering post-operative care, cosmetic, aftercare support, IVF support, and elderly care to our clients in need of a private nurse in the comfort of their homes, hotels, or preferred location. And I'm also the owner of Entrepreneur, which is an online pop-up store for nurses and Filipino novelty gifts, t-shirts, and nurses and Filipino themed coffees. You can reach Curantis Private Nursing Services by calling us at 617-203-8897. You can also visit our website at curantisnursing.com, and you can visit Entrepreneur by visiting our website at www.entrepreneur.shop.
Woo!
Wow.
Getting really good.
Yeah. Get that down back.
Didn't take long, right? Hey,
Yeah,
you're here to promote your business. You don't mess around. Don't mess around.
No.
So, all right, Art. Thank you so much for being here. Please let us know who you are and how you contribute to the community.
Great. My name's Art Catapang. I'm the founder and I guess the head of distribution for SquareRisk.com, which is a insurtech platform nationally. We are providing commercial products across the countries, working with different retail independent agents. But on top of that, other than just providing insurance and selling insurance, I think the value I bring to this is every business owner is going to run into some type of challenge, whether it be capital, whether it be insurance, whether it be people issues. I think the part I'd like to play in this is I'm here for context. So if you're running into those issues, I'm a good bridge because I insure a lot of different people to provide that solution that you may be happening on as you guys implement your business plans year to year. So look at me as sort of the rather than just the master of insurance, really a person that can connect to other solutions, whether I have it or the network that Ruben, Antonette, and I have established. So use us as a resource.
Absolutely. I feel like it's so interesting. These days, it's not a lack of information. It's just doing it. It's just reaching out, right? So if you heard what Art said and you need some help, feel free. It's so easy. It's so easy to get connected. It's just a matter of doing it. So appreciate you being here, Art. Thank you so much. And last but not least, me, Ruben, Austria. I am the founder of Filipinos In, founder of Live Community Networking. My company is called Lifeline for short, but really the local business lifeline. And I consider myself a coach. So Antonette, Art, they have a lot of very specialized knowledge. My goal is not necessarily to give specialized knowledge other than to share my experience in business. But I feel like everyone just needs the right push and motivation to do the things that are necessary in business to succeed. And just by being on this show, just by promoting yourself, it's an activity that any local business can do, and really it's just a matter of investing some resources, and in this case, time. So one of the things that I'm really working on first, along with Art, and hopefully with anyone that might be watching this show, we're going to be creating our first localized network in Massachusetts. So currently, we're like really bringing on people who are in Massachusetts that want to represent, and they don't necessarily have to be Filipino. But it's just a matter of like, you know, creating a new way of providing information to the local communities, and I call it Learn Local. So I'll share some more information about that when the time comes. But it's you know, it's certainly helpful to know that that we're all here. Whether you need a coach, you need a consultant, whether you need insurance, whether you need health services, we all make it happen, you guys. And the way that we make it happen, just so everybody knows, is by featuring new people into the fold, bringing people who, you know, who might not have might maybe in the Filipino Massachusetts community, but really just wanna promote themselves. And this is why we have our featured guest portion of the show. So we're gonna start to you know, really get to know who we have today. So let's get on it. All right. I am going to start by bringing in our first guest. His name is John Bayog. John is a lawyer at Bayog Law. John, welcome. Thank you so much. If you can tell us who you are and what you do, would love to hear more about you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is John Bayog. I recently started this law practice, so I do estate planning, and that is helping people plan for their future. I'm not so much the financial aspect, but like where your assets go when you pass away, that you've accumulated over the years, and helping you get them to the people that you want. So I do trusts, wills, power of attorney, healthcare proxies. I help people with funding trusts, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Well, John, I know when we had talked in the pre-prep in the studio that that you do all sorts of things. I was asking about real estate as well, but you know, being a financial planner myself, I worked with a lot of estate planners like yourself, and I think it's so important and amazing that that you're here, because we honestly we haven't had a lawyer on the show. But as far as you know, who are you wanting to connect with in this community, and who would make it helpful for you to you know, to do that with what you do?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for having me on. I totally forgot to say that initially, but it's so awesome to be here. Thank you for even starting this community, Ruben. This is so awesome. And I think part of what I want, why I want to be here, what I want to get out of this, who I want to connect with, is very much in line with your mission and reason for starting the community. Is I want to give back to the Filipino community that raised me and brought me up. I think estate planning is important for everyone. So I'm really trying to connect with anyone and just get them thinking about it. Get them thinking about, you know, planning for my future, planning for, you work so hard your whole life. And, you know, many of you have kids, and I want to make sure that your estate goes where you want it to go. Because if you're not thinking about estate planning, if you haven't planned for your future, you could be very, you know, you might be upset if you pass away, if your estate goes to someone other than who you wanted it to go to.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to connect with every Filipino here in Massachusetts.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, as a financial planner, I was primarily doing life insurance, and I know that's a tough you know, estate planning and life insurance is essentially tough conversations to have. But I think with someone they can potentially know, like, and trust, and be part of the community, you can certainly make it easier. And so, I know that you're in health services, but you know, this is potentially an overlap as well, correct?
Yes, yeah. You know, when we service clients, some of them don't have any healthcare proxy. The trust is still not established. So when I found John and Filipinos in Massachusetts Live, I was so excited because now I have somebody that I can refer to that, you know, I can trust and that I know that will take good care of my clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was actually mentioning too, I think the live concept of what we're doing is so important because, you know, as much as, you know, we assume that everyone is, on the up and up, obviously the truth is it's not the case, right? And I think it's less, you know, people are less inclined to do bad if they're showing their face on live video, and you know, are able to just answer questions. So hey, if there are any questions about it, you know, that you might have about estate planning, hold on a second. Nancy says we all need estate planning. We don't want Uncle Sam to get it first. She knows. She knows. So John, we really appreciate having you here. I'm looking forward to actually hearing more about, dig deeper into questioning and understanding exactly what makes you tick and what motivates you as well. So sit tight, and we're going to introduce our second guest of the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, John. Okay. All right. So next we have actually, Antonette, you want to introduce Cliff really quick?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am so proud to introduce a friend of mine and who's also been within my professional network, Mr. Cliff Hyppolite. Hey, Hip. Let's give you the platform and introduce yourself to the Filipino community and everybody nationwide and to all the Filipinos that you've helped in the past.
Thank you, Antonette. I appreciate it. And, you know, I always value friendships and, you know, business relationships. It's important. It's who we are. It's what we do. And I'm the owner of Secure Realty Investments. Been open for about 4 years now, about 4.5, give or take. I'm also a real estate investor. I specialize in fix and flips and multifamilies. So definitely can help any client that needs to sell, you know, sell and buy. I'm licensed in multiple states, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Florida. So I try to keep myself busy. You know, Antonette was actually a former client of mine. So, you know, I was very happy to serve, and, you know, we continued our friendship, and, you know, and now I'm so proud of her because now she's doing her, you know, her business, and it's growing exponentially, and I see her online doing great things. So I'm very happy, and I'm very, you know, humbled that you guys invited me and, you know, valued me to come on here and speak to you guys. But I'm definitely open to anybody that, you know, looking to invest, looking to buy off market properties or regular sell buys. You know, I actually do a little bit of creative financing too. If someone's in a bind, there's always more than one way to solve a problem. So I am a problem solver. So I'm here. So the how, I know there was a how and a why that I had to answer of how I got into real estate. I got into real estate basically. I did a transaction my own. I really didn't feel supported, so it motivated me, and I felt like I could actually help people and do it for a living. So I've been licensed for about 10 years, and my why is just because I do it for my family. Being a real estate agent, I was able to leave my full-time W-2 and you know, actually do what I want to do, which gives me more time for my family. So I'm really happy about that.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, I think the fact that you're the fact that you're in real estate, the fact you're an investor, you know what, Art, you know, I have to give you the floor because I know that you're in real estate, you invest as well. Certainly, I'm sure there'd be a discussion between both of you in terms of working together. There's just a ton of opportunities, as you might know, Cliff, in Massachusetts. I was investing in Massachusetts myself when I was a real estate investor, you know, full time back then. Now, as far as you know, as far as you know, I think we'll have. I don't want to ask the question right now because I feel like you started talking about going down the road of motivation and family and legacy, even though you didn't say that necessarily legacy, but. What is it? You know, if you could just, how did you go from like the real estate to the investor piece as well? Because now a lot of people do the real estate thing, but not necessarily the investing. What
So excellent question. So I always, like in challenging myself, I was always into real estate. So I started helping a lot of people doing regular sell bys. And then I had a lot of people in my sphere that were also contractors that fixed houses, and, they were selling them for profit. So when I saw that was being done, I'm like, hey, I think I can do this. So I started to leverage them and use them for their skills. And then I started going out and finding the deals. So it was just a community and networking with people. And that's how I got into it, and I've been investing for about, I want to say 7 years now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I believe I kind of touched upon this earlier when we were doing pre-production, but certainly Filipinos In is about just putting people on our platform, inviting guests who just want, who we can just show that, hey, it's possible. People are doing this. People are getting into real estate. People are getting into, starting law firms, and they're certainly, it's certainly not impossible. It's just a matter of heeding their advice, and you're gonna have plenty of opportunity to give us a little bit of that later on, Cliff. And I understand you're also in Quincy.
I am, and you hit the nail right on the head. It's all about showing people that it's possible, and we're all coming from minority communities, and a lot of them, they think that there's no hope, and it's just looking at things from one way. And once we come in and we step in as advisors, because we're all advisors on here, no matter what we do, we can actually show them the way and show them how to do it the right way, and help them better their lives. That's my why. That's my other why, just helping people to do better,
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Well, I'm certainly excited. Art, is there anything you want to comment on the?
You know what? I have a lot to comment when it comes to real estate, but let me kind of give you the journey that how I've gotten to real estate, everything from my past to current, real quick. My first home was actually I bought off market off a contractor that ran out of money, and it was stick built, had nothing in it, rough wiring. I said, hey, I can buy this off market and become the GC, and that was my first house. I got in there, got an occupancy permit. I subbed everything out and learned a lot. I even know how to wire now because of doing it, and plumb and finish carpentry. I learned right from the book. I didn't even have YouTube set when I first did it. I did that, made money off that, moved to Massachusetts. On that turn, I bought a complete house, but it needed a lot of renovation. So I did that, renovated. So let me speed forward to what you're doing. You're actually more advanced than me. Just recently, and Ruben knows this, I've created a new firm called Legacy Capital. So you go under legacycgroup.com. We are now same thing you're doing. The only difference I have, rather than going out and looking for contractors, the contract and the supply is built into the investment company. So we're actually vertical. And so I'm not going to haggle with my contractors anymore. I got a guy that implements. My job is to bring the feeder, right? And then work with folks like Ruben's background with lending capability and all that to be able to really, ultimately, we want to provide affordable and available homes, which is sadly lacking in Massachusetts right now. So that's the ultimate goal. So part of the platform here is I know there's a lot of Filipinos out there trying to get their first homes. Listen to the folks on this thing. It's right in front of you. We've all gone through it, right, Ruben? And if you're a Filipino and you're trying to move out of that apartment to something where you can say the American dream, I own it now, is you're talking to folks that have done it. And I'll just leave it at that because there's a lot more to be said from all this.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, hey, Cliff, I'm sure we'll have more to chat about in the second half of the show, but we're gonna move on from our featured guest segment. And we're gonna talk about the latest news. I don't necessarily have any slides prepared about what might have happened in the past week. Does anyone want to chat about something that happened in the past week in the community that would be worthwhile mentioning? Art, Antonette, and John and Cliff, if you can you'll be feel free to mention anything as well. If not,
right now the interest rates are dropping a little bit. I mean, we're in the sixes, which is good. So definitely want to make families aware of that. Anybody that's looking to actively purchase right now. I always like to say the phrase, date the rate, marry the house. Even if the numbers don't work, you can always change it later. You can change the rate, you can refi. But last month we were in the sevens, so we are seeing some type of progress. So I just wanted to share that.
Perfect.
Yeah, one more thing to add to that is that recently in Massachusetts, you may or may not know that the governor signed into law where you can add, if you're a homeowner, you can add what they call up to 900 square feet of ADU, which is additional living space. So on that similar note, you're going to see a lot of build outs and with adding ADUs to your existing homes. So more to be told on that, but use this as a forum to get information if you want to know what that means to you specifically as a homeowner.
Yeah. Also want to mention so if you're first watching Filipinos in, this is not a real estate show. It just happens to be a lot of real estate people here. So don't want to get it confused. Not that that's necessarily bad. It's just that, it's great. I think when you get real estate people talking, they have stuff to talk about. All right. Awesome. Let's start talking about upcoming events. Antonette, I know that you had one to mention, right? Can you want to chat about what's upcoming?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, Nancy, the one that was with us live, she's actually the treasurer of the Philippine Nurses Association of New England. So they're currently watching us right now. I just wanted to say there's an upcoming event on October 12th for the Philippine Nurses Association of New England. This is going to be at Norwood Sheraton, 4 Points Sheraton Norwood. It's going to be at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're going to celebrate their 34th anniversary and the induction of officers. The incoming president is Mary Jane Estrada Leiter. I told her I'm going to say hi to her as a shout out. I used to work with her. She's a palliative care nurse practitioner in one of the hospitals that I worked with in the past. So if you guys want to witness that event, you can certainly go to Filipinos in Mass Live to get all the information from there. And then a second upcoming event is going to be on October 6th. This is the Filipino American Festival over at Harvard Square. Hello to the one who's coordinating, or the owner of this group, Mr. Satrick Uy. Hello, sir. And Curantis Private Nursing Services will also be one of the vendors for that event. So if you guys want to have fun, eat, you can stop by at our booth and come meet us in person.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Antonette. Just want to give shout outs for any of you watching. Filipinos in, we've only really been producing events, I'd say, for like 3 months now, but certainly we want to get it to the point where a lot of people are commenting and live. It's super easy. If you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, you can essentially do this. Shout out to Sinag Local. Thank you very much, Karen, for watching us and supporting. She also said she's buying a house next year, so note that down. If you're, I believe Nancy was answering your question, Antonette. Thank you so much for tuning in, Mary Jane. PNA New England. That's the event that we were promoting. So thank you so much for watching. She thanks you, Antonette, for supporting, as well as Nancy. So again, super easy to comment. Makes it easy for the community to really engage with us, even though they're not here with us in the studio. And really appreciate you all watching us live. So I want to just really pause because we're coming into the next part. One of my favorite parts of the show, actually my favorite part of the show, allows us to really get to know our guests a little bit more. And if you're watching us live, be ready to ask some good questions. Okay. So John, Cliff, thank you so much again for being here. We really appreciate your time and attention. As I mentioned before, Filipinos In is really a platform that allows our community members, whether they're in business or whether they're consumers, whether they're residents, renters, homeowners, whoever they are, to get to know you a little bit more. I'm going to start off. I'm going to let Antonette and Art have a question of their own. And I know both of you kind of somewhat started going down this path, but it's always worth asking again, because, you know, always have to start with why. So, John, have to ask, you know, why become a lawyer? How did it happen? You know, what motivated you to work in estate planning? Again, it's not an easy conversation to have with people, but certainly you did it and you're doing it. So would love for you to share.
Sure, yeah. Well, I thought I might want to be a lawyer back in high school, and then went to undergrad and still wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but kind of, you know, started taking classes that might help me if I ever wanted to become a lawyer. I figured I'd take the entrance exam to it's called the LSAT for law school, just to see, you know, how I do. And I did pretty bad. I kept trying, and I just kept trying. And then eventually I got a good score. So I said, I tried applying to law schools. I ended up getting like full tuition scholarships because I did well in undergrad and I got a good score on that LSAT. And then at that point, it was like I could go to law school for free. So I said, let's just go for it. Didn't really expect to be a practicing lawyer. I just wanted to kind of surround myself with people who are smarter than myself, which I did. And then after I graduated, I went back to what I was used to, which was real estate. But then I started to think about what I really wanted to do going forward. And I really, I've always liked planning. Like I thought planning was really fun. And I just thought estate planning is very impactful. I can help a lot of people. I can really give back by offering those services. So that's kind of what I started to get into, and that's what I'm doing now.
That's great. Was there anything else that you even considered other than law, or was it just like
law and real estate? Those are my things. Oh, being a clown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was a kid. And a personal interest is like growing tropical fruits.
Oh, interesting.
So I might want to have a fruit farm later.
Well, hey, that's the beauty of, you know, again, the Filipinos In is not a real estate show. It's not even necessarily an entrepreneurship show, but if you pursue entrepreneurship, it creates the freedom to do whatever you want. So, you know what I mean? So that's amazing. No, I love that, John, and thanks for sharing. So, Cliff, I guess the next question goes to you. I mean, we already heard that you made the jump from your job or W-2, as some people would call it. What were you doing prior to real estate?
So prior to real estate, I was a correction officer. I was in law enforcement. I did it for 13 years. Same as John, I was actually trying to go to law school. I did get in. I took it for a couple of months, but I realized I had the brokerage open by then, and it was either the brokerage or law school. So I decided to go with the brokerage because I felt like my heart was, you know, in place of just helping people. And, you know, I did my first investment property, my first flip. I had it under contract. I gave my 4 weeks to the sheriff's department, and I never looked back. You know, so I just stayed committed to the brokerage. I really had a passion to do law. I love the law. I always study it, but I think my heart was, you know, doing the brokerage and helping people. And now I've been, you know, a manager for about 4.5 years. You know, sales manager, training agents. You know, now I have some agents that are jumping on my mentorship program for the flips and stuff. So it's been an amazing experience. And most importantly, I just have more time for my family. So, you know, again, and the whole point of this is you want to be able to be there for your family. You want to be part of the community and help people. You know, it's not just about you and making money, but it's helping people and helping your family grow. So
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I love the fact that you're in the middle of your deal and you submit your 2 weeks notice or whatever. I mean, I talk about burning the ships.
it was the best feeling, brother. Like,
I
you know,
love
that was when the moment of truth happened, and I'm like, listen, I'm doing this. And even my wife, she was like, "Are you sure?" I mean, she's very supportive, but she's like, "Okay, if you're doing this, I'm with you because I know you can, you know, do anything." But it was an amazing experience to be able to do that, and I'm just, you know, grateful to God first for giving me the strength and the courage to be able to, you know, just move on and then build my sphere and continue, you know, to provide for my family. So I'm
perfect.
thankful.
Perfect. No, that's great. That's great. No, good for you, and I'm glad to hear it. Family is always a good why, by the way. So it's not, there's no wrong. So Antonette, I want to give you the next as you're co-hosting with us, I want to give you the next opportunity to ask our guests what's on your mind.
Yeah, my question is just very simple. For the both of you, John and Cliff, what can you do, or what can you or your business do to help not just the Filipinos or the people in Massachusetts, but everybody nationwide? John, you can go first.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm only licensed to practice law here in Massachusetts right now. But part of what I want to do is just help educate people on the importance of estate planning, because a lot of people don't know that, they don't know about it. They don't know that when, if they, and as Ruben said, it's a difficult conversation to have. I don't like talking about death, but they don't know that if, when they pass away, that their belongings won't necessarily automatically go to who they want them to go. Like, they have to write that down. They have to plan that out. So just telling people that basic, that last sentence, just, you need to think about what happens in your future. Like, just awareness, I guess, is what I can provide the rest of the country.
Amazing. Yeah. No, I think that's great. Education, the ability to have a digital, platform to reach anybody that essentially has an internet connection is powerful. And I think what you're doing is, it's very specialized, but it's also very important. So,
and I am creating educational content that's totally free. It's on my social media channels for everyone to watch. But again, the laws are all mostly state specific. I mean, there's federal laws that apply nationwide, but you're going to want to work with an attorney, in your area. So as far as nationwide, all I can do is really just offer, encourage awareness and encourage people to think about estate planning, because it is important.
It's funny that John said that, because I was just talking to a client the other day, and they were talking to me about, they want to leave a will and, how to do that. So I think awareness is the most important thing. I'm just going to piggyback off what he said, because a lot of people in the community, in our communities, they're not really sure of what to do. And they think, oh, well, if my father passed away, this automatically goes to me. But if he didn't have a will, the state can take it. And a lot of people don't know that. So I think it's important just to keep people informed. And, I have a networking event that I do every month, actually, in the community. And I just have people come in and we just talk about real estate. I have attorneys, I have, people that show up that just gives them education. It's free, my consults are free. I am licensed in Rhode Island and Florida as well, but I'm focusing out here a little bit more. But, I'm happy to help anybody that just wants to be educated and to know what to do with their investment, because it's very important.
Yeah, perfect. Isn't that great question? I'm actually going to cut to some of our live, and John, you're doing extra credit. You're actually responding to the comments, but Signag Local says John needs to buy land in the Philippines. to start that fruit farm. I can connect with my mom. She's a real estate consultant. Wow.
Connect me.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a question, but that's awesome. So look at you. Look at you. You're doing like double duty here. I really appreciate it, John.
And you can contact John if you guys do need any type of wills, trust, or any type of a lawyer that John specializes. You can contact him just at the number's right there. What's your number again, John?
978-704-8696. And I'm offering discounts for the Filipino community for sure.
Perfect. Well, John, I'm gonna keep you there. I just have a burning question. I always like asking when I'm hosting this show. What's been the biggest challenge for you, like getting to where you're at now in terms of like your career, starting your business? What would you say has been the biggest challenge and hurdle for you?
There's a lot. I've had a lot of businesses that more unsuccessful businesses than not. My real estate and my law practice are doing very well though, and I think it was just the challenge was finding what works for you, finding your thing. Don't give up, and don't spend more time on something that you don't like. That was probably the best piece of advice my dad gave me, is to do what you like, do what you enjoy, and then it's not going to feel like work.
Why does that always seem to come off so complicated, John? Do you think?
What?
That seems like such simple advice, right? But why do you feel like that gets so convoluted and complicated for some people? Just do what you like and do what you're passionate about, right? So
I think it's hard. Maybe people are hesitant to embrace what they like. They don't want to share it. But that's really I think that's what all the little things that make us, like it's what makes the community great. So I wish more people would just embrace their interests, even if they think they're weird or niche. Like there's going to be people that share your interests. So spread the word, because we need you. We need to know about you. We need to know what you do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really answered your question, but it was a long journey. Having to work the whole time also was added a layer of difficulty, because undergrad took me like 7 years. So just don't give up. That was it. Just kept going.
I love it. Persistence will do a lot. So I really appreciate that. And same question to you, Cliff. Like, what do you think the biggest hurdle was for you to get to where you are, and just in terms of your business?
I think limiting beliefs will keep you stranded and hold you hostage. So you want to train with people that are doing better, that are smarter, so that you can say, okay, identify the goal and actually take action and learn from individuals that are doing what you want to do to get to where you want to be at. So, because a lot of people they do a lot of talking, but what are they actually doing? You don't really believe someone until you see their actions, right? So I'm a big, fan of that, getting older now, and I'm seeing, okay, I believe by what people do, not what by they say. So if you can say what you say and prove it by your actions, then things are going to work out. Things are going to work out for you.
Would you say, and if you don't mind sharing, what would you say the limiting belief that held you back, Cliff?
So my limiting belief was thinking that, getting a business and going out on your own is hard. A W-2 job is more stable. You know what I mean? Like, those were the type of beliefs that I had, but I was unhappy where I was at. So I said, okay, I have to do something about it. So when I started talking to individuals that were business owners, people that were in real estate and grew their business, that were my age, some were younger, it inspired me. And I started to take notes from them. I started to just talk to them about things. And then finally I said, all right, let me implement my plan. And that's how it happened. I started to believe in myself because I surrounded myself with people that were doing it. and that were willing to help me and give me guidance.
100%. Yeah. So they say statistically, 85% of people, working people, are not happy at what they do. So if you're interacting with the wrong percentage of people, then it's likely that you'll stay where you are. But if you're interacting with the 15% of people who really do enjoy what they do, you're likely to be drawn into that category. So, really do appreciate you saying that, because as simple as it might sound to do what you like, and you know, be told that it's possible, it's not that, it's just not that easy. You gotta take action. You gotta do things.
And like our fellow friend John said, don't give up. Just keep going. I mean, is it easy running a business? No. We all fall into hiccups. Things come up that we have to take care of, but we push on, we press on, and that's what keeps us going.
100%. 100%. Art, I wanted to just allow you to ask a question if you have one to
well, I've got a real because we're in a Filipino shows. Not that I want to talk about Filipino. I want to talk about the cultural influences that have influenced both you guys to who you are today and what approaches you've taken because of those cultural influences. So maybe start with John and then Cliff. Love to know how you integrated that into who you guys are and your business approaches.
Okay, sure. I think that I can speak to something relevant here. Growing up, my dad is Filipino. My mom is from here. She's American. But my mom's family was never really part of our, they were either deceased or in another state. So I grew up with my dad's family here in Massachusetts, and it was just very, very family focused. So like that we would always have I had my aunt lived in the basement, or my cousin lived in the basement. My aunt lived on the second floor. My brother and sister were there too. And we always looked out for they always looked out for me. they babysat me and helped me grow up. And then just all of the so it was very family focused, but then also friends too. It was their Filipino friends. I don't want to. I encourage diversity and reaching out to people, or different sorts of people. But it just so happened that growing up, all of our friends seemed to be Filipino families too that were around us, and we all kind of looked out for each other. We all kind of looked out for each other, and that kind of is inspiring me to give back to the community, and because I just felt like I got so much out of it growing up.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps. And again, just plan. I want to help people plan for their future, because I saw how hard that everyone was working for their kids, and I want to make sure that they get what they want to have happens.
No, that's great. I appreciate you sharing that, John. Yeah, that's awesome. Family first. Yeah, that's awesome. Cliff, you wanna?
So as you guys all probably know by now, I'm not Filipino. I did grow up in a Haitian American household, and as I got older, I became friends with. I was always open to, meeting any type of person. It didn't matter what nationality you are, but I grew close with Antonette and her family, and we've been friends for about 10 years now. And one thing I've learned is a lot of people that are outside of your culture, sometimes they support you more than people in your own culture. So definitely, have a lot of respect for the Filipino community, and, always treated me like family, always looked out for each other. So a big friendship there. So definitely, thankful for that again. And I'm thankful for having you guys have me on this show. It truly means a lot.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, no, I certainly want to stress that it doesn't, you don't have to be Filipino to be on the show. I think the theme is family and community. More more so than many other. And again, not to knock any other culture, but it just seems like such a staple, for the Filipino community to support each other. You know what I mean? It seems like such by default type of thing, and and I think anyone you guys are involved in real estate in some way. I mean, families living together, used to be how it was, and then all of a sudden everyone, and then it evolved that everyone wanted to be in their own house. Now it's actually coming back to where the families are all growing up together in the same house. Whether that's just a cause of cost or whatnot, it's happening, right? But but the whole point is it is a very communal way of doing things. And I think that might be the reason why that's how the question stemmed from.
Yeah. Well, to be right on, you're right, and I think you can see the intimacy when I ask the question, which makes this really real and authentic. And part of what we want to do is as to collaborate is you got to be real and you got to be authentic and you got to be a little vulnerable, because that means that this is how you get support. The other thing that comes as a theme, and when I hear it, I hear family, I hear health, okay, I hear wealth, and I hear health happiness. Doesn't matter what person of color you are, that's a common theme that really becomes the core of what makes us tick. So if there's one thing we can really kind of bring those four components in by what I hear today. And I might be wrong, but I try to at every webinar I get, or I take a lot from different people, but that seems to be the common core, right? And I don't think it's any different. It doesn't matter if you're Filipino or Haitian, it still comes back to the four core. And that's why we do talk through this, is to really find out if you're missing that core. You got a health issue, you got Antonette. If you got estate planning, well, you got John. You got real estate issue and put a roof on it, you got Cliff, right? So
yeah, so
connecting
sure.
thoughts for us, right? So that's where we're here.
Yeah, the ironic thing, I think everyone, as you might all know, the ironic thing is with technology, it's supposed to. The whole point of the internet, if you look it up, was to connect people and get people together in person. With Filipinos we are really just starting to do that in person. And the things that we are going to be doing more of is in-person events. So certainly would love to get, I mean, you guys are already doing those type of events. Sounds like Cliff do with your monthly event, and John with you just being so out there and wanting to educate people. I'm sure there's a way we can collaborate and do things so that there is more of this community, because as I mentioned, technology was supposed to be there to connect us, but it's divided us more than we've ever would know. And everyone feels like they're so distant from people, even though there's just a way to connect with all 7 billion people who might be on the internet. It's just not. It just didn't happen the way that I think a lot of people thought it would. so this is hopefully our answer to that. But I want to say thank you thank you to both of you, because again, it goes without without fail, every week it just seems to be more guests that continue to educate and inspire and empower our community. So we really want to thank you both for taking the time out of your busy day. I know it's we're here working hours, but really appreciate you both for being here and being raw, real, and authentic, as Art had said. So really appreciate that. So
it's my pleasure. I appreciate you guys too. And it's all about teaming up and with like-minded individuals. Anything you guys need, let me know. I'm here.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to close up the show. I'm going to close up the show with Art and Antonette, and hopefully you can join us backstage after we go live. Man, I'm going to give each of you guys the opportunity to just comment on what the biggest takeaway for you for each of you for this show. Antonette, you want to go first?
It's just the why and family. It's as what John says, that question really like kind of like hit me, Art. It was like, this is the reason why we wanted to excel, why we I want to like get up like at 4 a.m. in the morning because of family. And regardless of failures and success, the main persons that's going to be there for me is my family. So that was a good one.
Art, who knew? Who knew you're causing emotions to be stirred here?
Well,
Right?
that's human interest, folks. Let's face it. At the end of the day, we can talk a lot about business, but business is all about relationships and human beings. I don't care what you're trying to do. I will plug that this coffee is great, Antonette.
Thank you. Finally, you got it.
If you want some great coffee, go to her website because she sells great coffee. So that was my last plug of the day. I didn't want to sell, but I'm gonna.
Thanks, Art.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what my biggest takeaway is, we keep hearing it all the time. Do what you're passionate about. Do what you like. One of the things that stuck out for me was John was saying, "Hey, even if you think it's weird, you should be out there telling people about what you do and what you like." I mean, I always bring up the fact that like, hey, there was somebody out there in the 80s that decided they want to, create a new toy called the Pet Rock and made millions, off this Pet Rock. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's possible to do anything and be out there. And I'm hoping this platform allows those real stories, those authentic human interest stories, as you mentioned, Art, to really just play itself out. You know what I mean? Because I think when we're just posting, pictures of what we eat or where we went or the vacation that we took, it's all great stuff, but it's not happening like in real time. You know what I mean? Like you're not able to get that the kind of sense of who someone is just by what they're just by their traditional social media feed. So my belief is that live media is going to allow only not just because I think it works, but I think people just want stuff faster and faster these days, right? Like everyone wants their Amazon packages in less than an hour. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants their information like right away. Like what better way to get to know somebody? And in this case, somebody in your community that you might want to work with, whether it's potentially, getting a home from Cliff or, whether it's like sitting down and doing an estate plan with John. It's really important to get to the point where you know, like, and trust them, right? Those are the three things. And Art, I think that's what you were mentioning. So, really just want to say thank you all for being here. So really quick, I'm just going to go over this really quick. How to get involved, it's super easy. As I mentioned, we have this platform where we have hosts like Antonette and Art who are here to essentially run the program that we have, and then we have featured guests, amazing guests just like John and Cliff, come on to the show. And the way that this community and this platform runs is that hopefully our featured guests have interest in becoming future hosts or future producers of the show or future people who talk about upcoming news and segments or whatever is going on in the community. Antonette, we also talked about potentially doing a regular in-person meet and greet as well.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So excited about that.
Excited about that. Because what's the saying? It's many hands. I mess it up all the time. Little work, many hands, little work. I forget the saying, but you know what I mean, right? Like it's hard to do. It's hard to hold an event by yourself as one business, but if you have 10 people helping you throw the event, certainly be more people there, and it'll certainly be a lot easier to execute. Right. So that's how to get involved. Just let us know who you are and what you're doing. Again, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. So really appreciate it. You're certainly the epitome of following through, serving the community. You're not just talk. You're giving of your time. You're investing in our community. So really appreciate Antonette, Art, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Hey, thanks for leading. Thanks for
We're
leading.
awesome. We're awesome.
That's
Yes.
right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Until next week, everyone, we're going to have more amazing guests for you next week. I believe Adobo Republic is going to be on our show. We have another room for another guest as well. But hey, until next week, make it a great day. We really appreciate you being on the show or watching the show. Take care.
Hoy pare, pakinggan nyo ko. Ito ng tunay na Filipino.